Well, welcome viewers, Dr. J.W. Ayub again on Female Narcissism, Episode 7, when you started confusing relief with love. Love should not feel like oxygen after suffocation. At first, the good moments still felt real, warmth felt calming, affection felt reassuring. Closeness felt like proof the relationship was finally healing again. And every time the atmosphere softened, part of you believed the worst was finally behind you. But slowly, something changed. The warmth stopped feeling stable. It started feeling earned, temporary, fragile. Because before the closeness returned, there was usually tension first. Distance, silence, confusion, a heaviness in the room your nervous system started recognizing before your thoughts fully formed around it. And eventually your body began waiting for the emotional shift, waiting for the softness, waiting for the version of her that made everything feel emotionally survivable again. And that is where the trauma bond quietly deepens, not through constant pain, through pain interrupted by relief. Because if the relationship only hurt, your clarity would have escaped sooner. But sometimes she was warm, sometimes she sounded gentle, sometimes she became the person you kept hoping was still there underneath the instability. And every time you emotionally started pulling away, the warmth returned just enough to make abandoning the relationship feel unbearable again. The fork turns slowly beside the plate. The room feels careful again. Agreement feels safe. Questioning feels dangerous, and the atmosphere quietly grows guarded. And that is the part many men cannot explain after the abuse. Because you were not only attached to her, you became attached to the relief that arrived after surviving the emotional instability. And over time, your body began confusing relief with love itself. The warmth began arriving less like connection and more like emotional permission to finally breathe again. And that is where the existential psychological erosion deepens, because relief after emotional pain can feel intimate. It can feel like reconnection. It can feel like love returning. But sometimes it's only your nervous system recovering from the atmosphere what the atmosphere just put it through. And slowly the relief starts softening the reality your body keeps trying to warn you about. So you keep returning emotionally. You wait for the warmth again. You explain the instability again. You soften the painful moments again. And somewhere inside all that hope, you keep walking back toward the same atmosphere, which is slowly eating parts of you away. Because part of you still believes love can calm what is quietly consuming you internally, even after the covert female narcissistic injuries. And warmth keeps reopening the emotional door your clarity is trying to close. So your clarity starts rising, then relief interrupts it. Your body relaxes, hope returns, the memory of the injury softens. And before you fully examine the pattern, you're emotionally back inside the atmosphere again. Your clarity keeps trying to leave. Your hope keeps reopening the door. And eventually the contradiction becomes catastrophic internally. because you can already feel yourself disappearing and still find yourself emotionally waiting for the warmth to return again. That is covert female, narcissistic captivity. Your body stops feeling fully safe, even during the calm moments, because the part of you that's suffering from this is already waiting for the next emotional shift. And every time you return quietly, it costs you something. More self-trust, more emotional stability, more connection to yourself is lost. Until eventually you can feel yourself eroding, while still hoping the relationship can somehow still be saved. You are no longer simply loving someone unstable. You are slowly abandoning yourself because protecting the connection started feeling more emotionally urgent than protecting yourself. And maybe clarity finally begins the moment you stop asking, "Why do I miss her?" and start asking, "What part of me keeps emotionally returning to something I can already feel slowly consuming me?" Because love should not make emotional relief feel holier than truth. Love should not feel like survival interrupted by temporary warmth. Love should not keep emotionally pulling you back toward what repeatedly leaves you thinner afterward. And somewhere inside all that hope, you could already feel yourself disappearing. But every time the return of warmth comes, it keeps convincing your nervous system the relationship might finally become safe before you fully escape it. I'm Dr. JWA. Like, subscribe, press the bell, comment to educate me, and share the video. I'll see you in episode 18, when her warmth became the reward and her distance became the punishment. Bye for now.